Hey, 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 it's Sarah Jane from Access Your True Nature, and I made it by the skin of my teeth. I've just got off the Gau train. I'm back in Johannesburg and back in the insane traffic, and I'm here, and I'm wishing you a fabulous Friday wherever you are. And I wanted to, today's topic in the Active Appreciation Challenge, day 19, I don't even know what it is because as I said, I just hauled out of the car. My daughter just made me a coffee. My cat is happy to see me. Hi Cecilia, nice to see you here. And I want to just speak to really actively appreciating permissions, full permission to just be wherever you land and enjoy it. Hi Colleen, nice to see you. And yeah, the whirlwind of life. What if we could have more effortlessness and ease and flow to our days by just allowing ourselves to ask those simple questions of, who do I need on my team? It's a really good question when you're leaning into full permission and you think you can't do things, and the should-haves and the could-haves and the blame and the shame and the regret and all that stuff comes up. And also the emotions, the emotions of, just for me, leaving a place that's very dear to my heart. Hi Riki, nice to see you here. And coming back into my life where I have a daughter, I have a home, I have clients, beautiful clients waiting for me in clinic, on top of my clients online. And I was thinking about this on the plane home, is where do we stop ourselves short of giving ourselves full permission to lean into the no. We talked about creating safe boundaries and strong boundaries with flexibility a couple of days ago, and I want to talk about the contrast of that, of knowing your no and also knowing your yes, knowing where you can I'm hooking here, deepen into full permission by asking, who do I need on my team right now? And also on this entrepreneurial journey that you're all on, it really is about becoming the authority of your own life. Where are you not writing in your book? Where are you perhaps giving yourself up, giving permission to say yes to yourself up because of the projections and expectations and separations and decisions and judgments of other people, including your mind? So give me some love, give me some hearts, tell me if this resonates, and also open this up to questions. This is a really good time that you get me for free to open up the discussion and any inquiry where you'd like more information about whatever you're going through in your life, whether it's relationship or the quadrant of the physical, of the body, of diet, of nutrition, of that's what I do. I'm here to be a nervous system specialist, because if we're not getting to the root cause of why you're creating your life from the same place as the problem that you created in your mind, why nothing changes, and how to build consistency and momentum. So 2 questions for you today in looking at full permissions is, who do you need on your team? We're not supposed to create in a vacuum. We also need support when we're in it. You can't see it when you're in it. And we need team. We need people that can see the potential that you can't see when you're going through things. And I think it's important also to recognize that when we're creating, when we're on this journey of entrepreneurship and we are creating up. Hi Christina, nice to see you. You have to be willing to push pause, and you have to be willing to look at, what support do I need? What information do I need in order to get me to the next level and the next growth phase and close the gap? And what are some of the obstacles that you might encounter along the way? Hello, Kelly Heath. Nice to see you. When I'm talking about success, I think it's really important to, hi Dylan Dawson, really remember that I can't wait to get back into training on Monday. I've drunk way too much wine in the last couple of days, so I can't wait to get back to training. And anyone in Joburg, if you're looking for the magician, the magic trainer who really understands the physical body and your metabolism and your needs and your lifestyle, contact Dylan. You'll see him on my Facebook page. So just a shout out to Dylan. Hi Matthew. So when I speak of success in creating spaces, I'm really talking about both the success of enrolling people and attracting your sort of resonant tribe and clients to work with you, but also in your relationships and in your money, where you sort of feeling like you're not filling your spaces with ease, or that you feel like you're one step away from success. And a lot of the time, me being away from my normal routine, I really felt quite emotional yesterday coming back into my life to recognize that things don't always move or go as fast as you want them to, and there is a permission in there that I think we need to just tread gently on ourselves. I need my boyfriend on my team, but he is very negative. What happens is that I kind of shut him out now. Yeah, so it's just like, I think it's really important, and clearly you chose him to be your boyfriend, Ricky, and that's a topic for another day. But everything, how you do anything is how you do everything, and this is what I've kind of recognized, is that if I'm not in alignment in all 5 quadrants of kindness, gratitude, generosity, trust, and love in the body and the business and the relationship and the money, when things are out of congruence, the one has a domino effect of the other. And we don't want to be shutting ourselves down or shutting people out. And I think that's part of that conversation that we will discuss in your private sessions of the deal and what I call deal and deliver. It's just like, it's not what people say they can deliver, but what are they willing to deliver. And I think it's important to have very open, clear communication, and also do the work with the blind spots and the shadow work that I go into in depth in my private work with my clients and my programs, is getting very clear on your shadows, your childhood traumas, your blind spots, your triggers, so that you don't make everything personal, so that we set up that sort of that icky space of projecting our hurt onto the people that we actually love. And the 3 questions that I won't go into now, but if you want to know more about how to create conscious relationship and how to make it work, book a session or just contact me, and we can go into that. So this whole thing around leaning into permissions and knowing your no so that you can know your yes is to really know what's true for you. And for me, success is kind of hollow if it doesn't include the fulfillment of your purpose and your meaning. And I go into this in depth again in my Pathways to Purpose Mapping 8-week program. So if you want to know more about that, book a clarity call or go onto my website and have a look at it and see if it resonates with you. Because success looks different for everybody, and I think it's one of the things that makes me a little cranky is when we see people that we aspire to be at their level on Facebook and social media. It's so easy, isn't it, to look at them as having the perfect lives. And I think there's this whole thing around integrity and honesty in marketing, that we need to be more transparent in how we're showing up. We can't do all of everything well. We do need team, and we do need people on our, what I call my team players in spirit, in the physical form, to help us and support us when things start to get a little sticky, or they feel like they're going backwards or they're stagnating. And I think that it's really important that your work, whatever it is that you're creating, from a place of how can I contribute more? How can I show up and serve better than I did the day before? How can I give more and lean into the greatest version of myself as possible? Is that it has to include, hello kittens, all my kittens are coming to say hello. It has to include the fulfillment of going deep down into your heart and looking at what is my purpose and having the clarity and the vision, and to step into that in a deeper level of meaning without going into the head tripping and meaning making of what you think it should be, because it never looks like you think it's going to look, and it never shows up how we think it's going to show up. But we have to be willing to go deep down into our hearts, trust our gut, and follow that before we take, advice or look at other people's systems or pathways or priorities as something that you can fit. That's why I don't like cookie cutter versions, and why I really, really am committed to create a personal prescription from going into root cause resolution of why are you stuck in what you're stuck in, and reverse engineering it as the architect, as the authority of your own life, with support, can really get you to close that gap and start to show up in a different way. And I shared this often, I know I've shared this before, but whenever I'm sort of feeling called to create a container or a space or an invitation, all my words for an offering, I always just clear the deck and I create some space to push pause and just tune in, go deep down into what is it that the space wants to be. I ask my business, what does it require? What kind of support does it need? Who do I need to hire? Who do I need to employ? Who do I need to bring onto my team, spiritual and physical and energetic, to support me in creating that thing? So don't forget to ask your business what it requires and desires of you too, because your business is its own entity with its own life force, just as every creation is a piece of music or a poem or a program that you're creating. It has its own energy. And just as in that conscious relationship that you may be having with another person, I really want you to deepen into the practice of having those conversations with your business as well, and looking at tuning in to that space of what is it that this wants to be, and then listening and seeing where there is the permission, where it's a definite yes. There should be no maybe. It's either a no or it's a yes, and use your muscle testing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go onto my YouTube channel. There is a short video there on how to use muscle testing to trust your body. Your body is your greatest consciousness facilitator. If you listen to it, it'll never take you out of congruence. It'll, that's that resonance that I talk about, that energetic match that's just like, there it is. There is the yes. So go check it out. So if it's heavy, it's a lie. If it's light, it's true. And it doesn't mean that you can't, that won't maybe change later on. But in this moment, all we have is the present moment. And we want to be very intentional when we're asking as well. And I always ask, what is that? What is it that I'm not getting? Or what is it that I need in this moment? And what could, and this is what a lot of, when we talk about walking the timeline of looking at, if I choose this thing, what would my life look like 6 months from now? And getting a feeling of heavy light on that. And if I don't choose it, what would my life look like, or my business look like 6 months from now? And expanding the timeline into the future. Some of my colleagues call this time piercing. But if you can go back in Akashic record and see and learn from the wisdom of past lifetimes, you can do the same thing by going into the future. I think my friend Michael calls this futuring. So really getting the energy and the resonance and really feeling that deep down in your core, along your divine line, in your heart, in your gut, before you say, give yourself permission to say yes, or give yourself permission to say no. So if I let myself create something that spoke to the depths of my gifts with full permission and freedom, what would I create? And it's such a beautiful question. If my higher voice or my wise woman or my sage were speaking to me from the future, if I choose this thing, what would it look like? And give yourself time. This is why I love to do my morning pages. I love to give myself and really respect the boundary of that first hour of my day, of my waking day, is my time to meditate, to go deep down and really connect with what is it that this day requires of me. What does my business require of me? What do my animals and the people in my life require of me? And moving from that space. So if you're not doing intentional creativity and meditation and journaling, it's one of those anchors. When I talk about having an anchor or a stake to really ground yourself into your body of work, and your joy of business should be your best, living your best life. So am I making sense? Give me some hearts, give me some love if this is fun for you, or if you're done and you want to go and have a sundown. The sun is setting. But yeah, so ask yourself that question. If you let yourself create something that really speaks to you from the alignment and the resonance of what you're here to create and what you're here to impart, because you have endured and you've come through certain challenges and certain hurdles and hiccups in your life, that makes you an expert. I'm an expert. My PhD is in my life experience that I've done in the field over the last 50 years of this life and many more before, to share that with people. And it is abuse not to share what you know and how you overcome it. So ask that question and give yourself the space of inquiry to really look at, if you give yourself full permission and freedom, what would that look like? What would that create? What would some of the concerns and obstacles look like on the way? And who do you need on your team? You cannot just do this on your own. It's impossible. It's impossible to do this on your own. We're mammals. We need each other and we need connection. And I always say this because I love, it's just so true. It's like money comes to you through people. So if you're not connecting and you're feeling alone and separate and isolated, get out from behind your computer screen. Get out. Go meet people. Use the curiosity of the element of water to let the river run and see who, comes by, and lean into that and get curious about the people. I love that. Yes, and go inward and listen to your inner voice, Colleen. Yeah, really tune into the inner river, right? Where the river flows. We're 80% water, and water is supposed to flow, and when it isn't, we stagnate, and anxiety comes up. This is where I see so many people that come with anxiety, chronic anxiety, and that are having panic attacks, or they're just exhausted, where their kidney chi is so low that when I start working with them on the root cause of this, and then working with the meridians, working with the pathways, and of course working on an individual prescription that fits with their nutritional needs. Our gut microbiome are messed up, and this is why it is so important to address. If you want a beautiful, big, amazing life where you are the greatest version of yourself, you have to get support and let people help you, like me, that are integrated. It's a holistic approach. And if your gut microbe is weak, if your spleen is weak, and your pancreas is, if you're worrying all the time, if you're a head tripper all the time, you need to get your prescription down and a mind map sorted out that's physical and pragmatic, that you can make these lifestyle changes. We've talked about sleep hygiene before. So, look at that. What would it look like if you allowed yourself to say yes to that? And give me some questions, and just remember, if I miss any of your comments, I will go back and reply to them. I'm home now, so I have some time to catch up. So, and book a clarity session. If you don't know me and you want to know how to work with me, let me know. So I always say I'm going to keep these short, and I never do, because I'm just sort of following the energy and allowing spirit and allowing whatever needs to come through me that I'm tapping into in the universal unified field of consciousness right now, to bring you these little daily sound bites of support. So, what would it look like for you? And not what would make the most money. I see so many people kill their businesses. If you're making your business about the money, you will kill your business. And you may have had some experience with that, when you do things for the money as the priority, rather than the calling of your heart. I did this for years, skimmed on the surface, made lots of change, because everything is connected to everything. But I really didn't want to work with people that had suffered trauma. I didn't want to work with people that know deep, dark depression, because I've been there. I know what it feels like to have anxiety and constant be in that place of panic attacks, and can I cross the road by myself, or can I drive at night? And it took me a long time to stop resisting that and really step into the depth of the work that I do as a nervous system specialist, right? So that people can really heal and have that sustainable, permanent change. We don't want things, and you may have noticed that you do certain things, it works for a while, and then it either cuts out and you go back to what you were because you're not addressing the root cause or the point of creation where that seed was planted, and all of this other stuff has started hooking on, like your nervous system and your brain goes looking for evidence to keep you stuck. So we've been building on this all week. So I want you to look at, what would you do? Where are you not giving yourself full permission to really lean into your work? Not because the money would be good, not because of all the reasons, justification, your ego and your mind and your nervous, what wants to keep you safe is saying to you. Not what other people say, you need to be sensible, get a proper job, Corleen. You can't possibly make great money and impact people's lives through your incredible art and your sculptures. If you listen to that voice, you know that your spirit and your soul dies, your heart closes, and we're not living a fulfilled life. So, when you step out of that place of, what was going to sound good to other people, or what would the copy look like, none of that matters. What if, and another one, it's like, oh, well, what if someone else told me it needs to look a certain way? This is where you have to be willing to trust that you're aligned and in resonance and clear and open communication with the people that are on your team. Or, creating from a space of lack and fear is another one. That I'm not gifted enough, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy. What we spoke about yesterday, seeing your value as unique and perfect and purposeful, because there's only one of you, and nobody else has had your experiences. Nobody has experienced what you've come through on the other side like you. That is what makes you unique. So if you're creating from a space of lack and fear, that you're not enough, or you need more, you need to learn more, you need to get another certification, please stop it. Please stop it and get somebody who can help you get clear on what your gifts and talents are. That's what the clarity to healing and finding your pathway and purpose, that is what that Skype session is for. So that we can see if we're a fit and see where we can close the gap together, because you need relationship and you need fresh eyes with a perspective that's non-emotional and not attached to show you what your gifts and your talents are. That's what the Gifted Life Project is all about. Okay, and that's the group program. So if any of you are interested in that, let me know. You have to be willing to leave all that bullshit and all that crap that you've been telling yourself at the front door. Shut the front door on all of that, and really start looking at, I don't think about how I'm going to market something, or whether I'm allowed to create a space that's different, or that people will think I'm too woo, or people will think, I don't care. I care so much about this work that I don't care. I don't, and the same goes for you. You don't need 7 billion people on the planet to like what you're doing. You just need the ones that are going to be attracted to your work, because there's this resonance and there's this connection. There's a spark. And all of you that are in my tribe, it was just a remembering. It was just like, I know this. It feels like a homecoming, and because we're accessing our true nature. It's a homecoming, and it's a place of safety and sanctuary and inspiration for you to spark those ideas and have the support to get you to the next place. So I don't bring forward my thoughts or fears about whether or not I'm worthy, or if people are going to sign up or not. And sometimes they don't. And I think this is another thing, that people always, talk about their successes, but they don't tell you how many times they failed and how many things they put out there. And I think I heard someone the other day talking about this, that nobody speaks about how many times the big guys, and I'm talking like Apple and all these huge big companies that look so successful, they didn't succeed and fill it up and sell out on the first go. You have to keep creating momentum, and I'll find that data. I can't remember what that article is, but when I find it, I'll link it. They were saying, they can put and I can't remember the company, but these big companies, they'll put out 100 pitches or marketing things, and only one brings the return. The other 99 don't, and that's what makes the difference between leaders and visionaries and catalysts and lighthouses and entrepreneurs and people that don't, right? Is you have to keep going and tweak it and listen to what your people are saying and use their languaging and find out what it is that they're needing and what their pain point is, and if it's aligned with what your area of expertise is. So, I really stay in that sort of very pure intent of what does this space want to be, and what is the permission of me as a curator of it to listen to it, and allowing it to include the depth of my gifts. And it's funny because I remember my whole life, people, even when I was making furniture, I used to go to these Decorexes and these beautiful big decorating shows, and with my furniture when I used to custom make furniture. And the one year I was just so bored with the way that everybody did the same old, same old layout, same old stand every time. And it was autumn, and I went out and I collected bags and bags and bags of the most beautiful colored oak leaves. There were all the oranges and the reds and all these stunning oak leaves. And also it was an appreciation and honoring of the wood, of the trees that I had been responsible for cutting down to make this beautiful furniture. And then I hung all my furniture from the rafters so that people could actually see the dovetails and the quality and the artisan, the real artisan work that you don't see in this mass-made furniture. And nobody got it. Nobody got the depth of my vision, that I wanted people to see that the underneath of my tables and the joints and the underneath of my chairs was as beautiful as the top of them. And no one got it. And I don't know, people always used to say, oh, Sarah Jane, you're too ahead of your time. Sometimes I've talked on summits, and it's just been so way out of people's awareness that the summit hosts have just said, gosh, it's just like so out there. And I laugh because I've been talking about healing trauma and going, how to create calm in a chaotic world for the last 3 years on summits. And the other day, Eckhart Tolle and I think Deepak Chopra had some title of a talk or something they were doing that was all about how to create calm in a chaotic world. And I just laughed because it's just like, don't think that what you're creating doesn't matter. It might not translate into resources or money straight away, but it don't make money the first thing. Of course we need money and we need resources, but in all these situations, just like that decorating show, 5-10 years later, and I saw people actually hanging furniture from ceilings, and they've been doing it in restaurants too, because there's something fun and novel about a grand piano hanging from a rafter. So don't think that your seed thoughts and your consciousness and your contribution that you're putting out doesn't matter. Okay, it's all contributing to the whole, and we all want a better world, and we're all wanting to live the best life that we can, and know that somehow we made a difference, whether that's in a song or a painting or whatever it is for you. This friend that I went to help unpack her house, it just brought me to tears of absolute joy and appreciation again to see furniture, beautiful solid wood sleigh beds, and the most magnificent units that I had, cupboards and display units, and magnificent furniture that I had made for her in my factory over 25 years ago, looking as beautiful as the day it left my factory. And it really filled me up, because that furniture is going to be the antiques of her great-grandchildren, and they will get to appreciate. And that to me is what I live for, is this living legacy of healing trauma from the roots. That's what I'm here to do. Heal the nervous system, come out of this hyper arousal of fight, flight, freeze, and get people to come back to their hearts and live from deep down. So I kind of feel like I'm rambling on, but I wanted you to just know that your work matters. Don't give up. It's too important. It's too important. And don't bring forward your thoughts of fears about whether people are going to think you're crazy, or you're going to screw up. And don't get despondent when it doesn't catch straight away. Sometimes it needs something else, and this is where asking the right questions from the resonance of the heart and your purpose and your vision and your mission are so important to stay the course, to stay your compass direction. And sometimes we do wander off. I've done that many times. I wander off. I lose my way temporarily. And I ask for the support, energetic support, physical support from people that I admire, from people that get me and see me and my gifts, to help me and support me to get back in track with my North Star. And I'm here for you, to support you in doing that. So, I want you to just stay in that very pure intent of, what is this space, or this container, or this piece of art, or this music, or this program want to be, and what is the permission of you as the co-creator? Because the universe does have your back, but you need to action it. It's like, listen to it, tune into it, and allow yourself to go into the depth of what that work wants. And when you feel that, your heart just opens and the tears just come, because it's just, there it is, right? There it is. And sometimes you need to push pause in that permission. Give yourself permission to just sit in the space with it, ruminate, play with it. Maybe it's something that isn't for now, and I show you how to use this time-piercing line to really get nailed down like this. I have had people that have wanted to sell businesses, hairdressing salons and restaurants, and they're always blown away, when they've come with this quandary of confusion and ideas, because they're trying to figure it out on a linear timeline. And I never ask for a balance sheet. I never ask for their profits. I never ask, the goodwill or the contents or anything. I tune into the business, and I've always nailed it, because it's not me. It's the business that speaks to me. And I've always said, put it on the market for X amount, and within 3 months, the business will sell. It will find the person that is looking for it to take it up into the next chapter of the business or the restaurant or whatever it is. And people are blown away. It's just like, holy crap, how do you do that? You can do it too. I can show you how to do that. And it's just such an honoring space. And then you can get out of all this head crap where you're thinking, oh my God, and I need to do this and I need to do that. I've had accountants that have come to me and they want to learn how to do this. And people that play the stock market, because when they have worked with me and learned how to do this, they've 10 times their returns on the stock exchange, because they're asking the questions that I've shown them how to use. And it's such a fun, beautiful place. It's such a lovely place to play. And I'm not saying you don't have to do all the other stuff for banks and whatever, but I don't work from that. It's a very intuitive process, and it's worked every single time. It's never stopped working for me or my clients. So allow yourself, and if your business is, okay, you know what, next month or 3 months from now or 6 months from now, you have to be willing to honor that. You're a constant creative generator. So this is where we can have that inner calm and that peace to know this is for now and that is for later, and listen to it. And I create in that field, always in the field of my dreams, in bringing into physical actualization. I work with this. I go sit with the horses. I'll go and sit on the grass. I'll go and sit with the trees, and I tune in and I listen, because nature has divine timing in everything, and we need to learn to follow the seasons again. Thank you for the hearts. Tell me this is love. This is that you're liking this conversation today. And let me know if you have any questions. So don't worry about, I guess what I'm trying to say is, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to listen deep down to your heart, to your gut. And then be willing to tune in and listen to the people that are in support. My battery's about to go. That are in support of seeing you succeed and want to be there. But you have to be your greatest cheerleader first. Okay? You need to be your greatest supporter and your greatest cheerleader. first and foremost. And just, stop worrying about pedantic, stop worrying about copy or pricing or, what memes you're going to use. None of that matters if you're not aligned from the heart space of your business. That's what I call heart selling, and that I'm really good at teaching. Okay, I'm going to find people. You will. Stop worrying about it. The people that are aligned with your message will find you. Okay, the hustle is optional unless you're Gary Vee and you enjoy it. So I just let the purity of my purpose to hold and create containers to lead me, and trust if I'm called to create it. It's because there are those that are needing it. Okay, a lot of the times the things that I create and then I have to learn to respond. I use human design, I use Enneagram, I use a lot of amazing tools in the Pathways to Purpose program, that 8-week journey. So you can use it too, but you have to be willing to listen. And this is the secret formula, which is the core spaces of where I lead from occurs when I create my containers. Okay, is because there are people that are needing it and they're asking for it. And I ask, is this an alignment? Is this something that's going to light me up? Is this going to be a contribution? I don't ask, is it going to make me millions of money? The money comes as a side effect when you're aligned with the heart space, and it doesn't always show up as money. It doesn't need to. Women want money as a resource because we think about changing the world in a grand scale. I want to be willing to have enough resources to live a lifestyle that I'm used to, and to provide for my child, and to, I have responsibilities to the animals and to my charities, and I want, you have to be willing to have the resources. I wear this, and people always say, this one here, this is a constant reminder. I don't care if it looks like shit. Okay, I wear it to remind me of those days when I can't get out of bed for myself. I will get up and I will do this because this was made by the women of the Pachamama tribe in the Amazon, and I donate every month to the Pachamama. I donate to the things that matter to me, and I don't necessarily want to go and be out there on Standing Rock or teaching women in Africa whose children are starving how to breastfeed their babies. But I'm willing to have the resources so that the people that do, that I am so in deep appreciation for, can go and do their work in protecting the rhinos, in protecting our legacy. And I want that for you too. So, here's something else. Your programs, when you're aligned with your impact, my program's always full. Maybe not on the timeline that I would want, and I know I'm very impatient, and it's something that I've had to learn to deepen into, is to be patient and to listen to the entity of whatever it is that I'm wanting to bring into the world, to birth into the world. And they always fill, and they're always abundant, and they're always there. This feeling of resonance to those that are called into my programs and into working with me. And it doesn't mean I don't ever have fear that no one is going to buy, or that I won't be able to fulfill the intention of the space, or will I be able to support the outcomes that occur. But I lean into faith, and I trust that deep down. And of course I freak out and flip out and I panic, but having these anchors and practicing while I'm sharing with you has not ever done what it is promised. I have made some bad choices because I was out of congruence and didn't listen, because I wanted what I wanted and I wanted it then, and I let my mind talk me out of it. And there's only learning there. There's never regret, and it's always there. The anxiety is always there. And we say, if it doesn't make you want to pee in your pants, it's not big enough. If you don't get sweaty palms and you don't feel those butterflies when you let go of the side of the airplane, it's not big enough, or there's something that you need. So I try not to hold those fears when I'm creating, and that's how I create. And I share my spaces without launches that attract a beautiful tribe of women to come to them, 5-figure launches, 4-figure launches, 6-figure launches with ease, depending on the space that I'm offering. And you can have that too. And oftentimes they lead to more from there. And more importantly, it's a pleasure and it's a joy. It's my joy of business to lead them, because it's what I'm meant to be doing. Okay? You can heal from trauma. You can turn your trauma into Dharma. You just need support. And it's powerful. It's powerful. It's a powerful thing. So that's it, I think. I feel like I've been going on for quite a long time. But, that's it. Would you serve someone a cup of muddy water? Would you paint, Pauline, a canvas of dull colors that are blurred into one another that have no beauty? Probably not. So when you create something from a place of fear or doubt or misalignment, that's the muddy water. That's when the things bomb out and they don't work, right? Because we need to get back into compass direction of calibrating and integrating where we're wanting to take people. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, so just know that, you want to create people and touch them with your gifts. And I see a lot of people out there that are a little misaligned in what they're creating from a place of, this is going to, make me 6 figures, or this is going to put me at the top of, whatever, the special people group. And it's very self-serving, okay? If your intent behind why you're creating that space isn't aligned and you're out of touch with your gifts, it's like serving people a cup of dirty, muddy water rather than a beautiful, quality, green, fair trade espresso beans and the best of the best cream in it, okay? So, when you wonder where your clients are or why your space is unfilling or where your people are, look at where you're creating them from, and what is the intent and the essence behind it, your agenda, your target. And and this is where we often need help to get out of those unconscious commitments that are holding us away from the very thing that might have started pure. And I see a lot of well-meaning people out there that lose their way, okay? We've all probably have many experiences and stories about how easy it is to lose your way in that when we move away from our heart and we get stuck in our heads. So let yourself have that full glory and permission to just create from the heart. Go deep down. Get in touch with that. Get in touch with your why. Okay, there's a beautiful book, I think Steve Olsher wrote it, called What is Your What? Okay, you have to know with clarity who you are and what you're here to do. And this is where so many people don't ever go there, because they think it doesn't matter enough, that it has no worth and it has no value. And that's why you need somebody to show you your gifts and your talents and your capacities, so that you can create your spaces with freedom and permission and watch them blossom. And I promise you, they will, if you just allow yourself to go fully into your permissions. Okay, we don't have time on our side. We're in physical bodies, and the time is now. All you have is now. So commit and appreciate the permissions, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your Friday wherever you are. Post your questions if you have any insights or comments or questions. Share this with someone that you might know is looking for a pick-me-up, a little boost today. Maybe you know somebody that could really hear this today, and I always appreciate you showing up, and I appreciate you sharing this, because together we can go so much further than apart. So please share it, like it, heart it, listen to it again, give me your questions. I will go through and speak to them again. And if you don't know, if you're new to my True Nature Medicine Tribe and you are interested in how you can work with me to resolve and create your own individual prescription to health and abundance and live deeply happy and fulfilled, please go ahead and book over at accessyourtruenature.com. and let's see if we're a fit. Let's close that gap and get you into your gifted, beautiful life. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for showing up on a Friday, and enjoy your weekend. Bye. Mwah.